Hi, it's Peggy, and today I have the amazing honor to be here with Hugh Smith, who is not only the man who I accredit to saving my life, but also someone that's become a very dear friend of mine over the years.
Peggy, I haven't seen you in a while, but and that's a little bit of an overstatement that I saved your life, but so it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with Peggy on camera and just talk about some stuff.
Yeah. So March is Lymphedema Awareness Month.
Right.
And so I am doing some videos that just are lymphedema related.
Cool.
Now, what you do helps people with all sorts of things. But, you know, when I first met you, I actually saw you because I had C. diff and I was about to die.
Yeah.
I was in really, really bad shape.
I remember.
And I don't know if you remember this or not, but when you were looking at my blood, you said, "Oh, your lymphatic system's a mess. We can fix that." You remember that?
I do.
You remember how mad I got?
And you said to me, "Don't joke with me about this."
I was like, we don't joke about that. You
Right.
didn't know that I had lymphedema at
No.
the time until you said, "Wow,
Yeah.
you're a mess."
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of things to deal with. You know, I put out several videos over the past several years.
Right.
And the one thing people say is, well, you just skim over how you got better. And it's because, well, every body
It's
is
different. Exactly.
And I had a lot of issues going on. A lot of them were complications from lymphedema.
Right.
And a lot of them were just because I'm Peggy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and I always, you know, and so this month I've really been opening up and telling people the nitty gritty of what I did.
Good for
and
you.
what made Peggy better.
Yeah.
So you're a big part, you say that it's overstated. I feel it's understated. Because I told the doctor, you know, I said, you know, I'm going home to die in peace, and got a phone call from you about some photography stuff.
Yeah,
And that's
right.
how it all, you're like, get up here now. And
We got it
and,
fixed.
and we got it fixed.
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon a picture that I had taken, and I'm going to put it, I don't know where we're in the screen. Let's put it right here. Maybe
you
it's
go.
over here. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put a picture up. And this was my leg 2 months after I started treatment with you. And the reason I took this picture is I was so excited how skinny my leg was. I was like, oh my God, if it never gets better than this, I'm
good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
I
And
remember
then
that.
now, this is a picture of my leg, you know, this morning.
Right.
So,
I know. I'm really. You know what? I'm so excited to see you feeling good. See your social life picking up. You know, I mean, just everything works when you're working.
when you're working.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the problems that I have with doctors is they treat your symptoms. They never treat the base cause,
Right.
and that's what we try to do, is address base causes. And it just makes your heart feel good when someone comes in after a month or 2 or 3 or whatever, and they feel so much better. And of course, you get the one now and again after a month who comes in and goes, "I don't feel any better." You know, and you go,
What?
well, you said a month. I've stopped doing that now. You know, I don't use time frames anymore, but it makes your heart so good, especially kids. You get a 2 or 3 year old in here. It just does your heart so good. And unfortunately, doctor's answer is, well, you have this problem, so we're going to give you this drug.
And that drug's going to cause this side
That's
effect,
right.
and then we'll treat that side effect as well.
And you might die. You
And
know?
that's why I was where I was because of the whole pill chaser thing.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. And of course, my friend Imani, she won't even go to a doctor. You know, she thinks garlic cures everything. She does. She mixes. I remember I got this terrible cold, and I was really upper respiratory problems like you wouldn't believe. You'd think I could fix that. And she mixes up this 4 cloves of garlic, chopped up real fine, 3 slices of lemon, honey, ginger, and hot water, and drink it. So I drink it, and then I get to the bottom, and all this stuff is laying in the bottom. She said, "Eat it." Oh my God! You know what? The stuff works.
It's amazing.
Oh my God!
Well,
So-
you know, we live with silver at our.
Yeah.
You know, we use that for, you know, as soon as somebody sneezes, I'm like, drink
Bam.
it.
That's right. This stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. The
Sovereign Silver.
Sovereign Silver.
That's without a doubt the best stuff on the market.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many good products out there, and it's amazing to me. For example, I'll give you this is to me is a killer example. 1932, Hitler began to fund this doctor in Berlin. His name was Otto Warburg, and he discovered what causes cancer and how to cure it. And what he decided to use to cure it is turmeric. And it's $7 a bottle,
right.
You know, and
which is also amazing for lymphedema.
Absolutely, it's an anti-inflammatory, and they, in fact, I think somewhere over there I've got, yeah, there it is. There's a bottle of turmeric there, and they suppressed this information until about a year ago. Nobody knew who Otto Warburg was, but, and it's so sad. I see, you want to cry when you see these commercials on TV for St. Jude's, and they're giving them chemo, and they're
giving them poison.
Exactly.
They're giving them cancer-causing radiation, and
exactly. I tell everybody when they're in here, there are 4 things that actually cause disease, and chemicals, radiation, like Wi-Fi, for example, and stress. And number 1 is diet, and nobody pays attention.
Well, that's that I contribute to be the biggest part of my recovery was my diet.
Yep.
You were saying words that I had never heard of. You were saying drink water. I was like, drink water.
That's right. And the doctor will tell you don't do that with lymphedema.
Lymphedema, yeah. And so when I first started seeing you, I had built up to drinking 100 ounces of water a day. And that was a lot, but I didn't just start one day doing that, because that can make you really sick as well. So I had built up to drinking that much. Now I drink about 80 ounces of high alkaline water a day.
Good for you.
But, and I can feel it if I don't. Most people live in a state of dehydration and they don't even know it. And then once you get your body hydrated, as soon as you start getting a little, you're like, yeah, I need water. My head.
If you go to a chiropractor's office, a good chiropractor's office, mine in particular, he's got a big thing up there about water.
Yeah.
And it's true. Your body can't. I mean, you're 70% water. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's common sense, but we've not taught that. We were taught to go buy a Pepsi.
Yeah.
We were taught to go, quench our thirst with a Gatorade, or that's what we were taught. Or and so we think that we can't have water unless it has flavor to it.
That's right.
And then the other thing that just angers me is the advertising about diet. First of all, aspartame stops weight loss.
Yeah.
Second of all, it'll kill you.
That's right. But other than that, you'd be fine.
So I mean, if you're gonna drink soda, at least don't drink diet. Like,
I can't believe they allowed that stuff on the market.
No. And there's studies. I mean, it's not just the crazy ones like you and I that believe, but there's legitimate studies that are done about how horrible this is.
That's right.
But
it's FDA approved.
Here we are.
Every drug that's pulled off the market was previously FDA approved, and you're going, huh?
And they didn't necessarily pull it off because it had bad side effects.
Right.
But all of a sudden, they can't. It kills me to watch these commercials on TV. Blah 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 blah, or death, and you're like,
huh? Yeah. I mean, I had a gal.
Oh, let's see. Should I have a swollen pinky or die? Yeah. What can I live with?
That's right. I had a gal come in one time, and she asked me if I was FDA approved. And I said, well, first of all, the FDA doesn't approve or disapprove of individuals. I said, no, I'm not. And a few minutes later, I'm looking at her sheet, and I see that she's on methotrexate. And I go, have you looked that up? So I pulled out my PDR, went to the methotrexate page, and one of the side effects is sudden death. So take all you want,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing to me how Big Pharma has infiltrated so many people and so many nations that they control it. They literally control it.
And it is our fault as a society as well, because we want a pill.
Yeah.
We don't want to cook a meal, we want to pop something in the microwave, which
That's
don't
right.
even get me started on microwaves.
Microwaves don't even need
We
either.
do not have a microwave in our house.
It's a big clock here.
That's what it is, because it's built into our condo. And
Ours
so before we didn't even own one, and we moved in, and we were like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, well, it's a timer. So that's how, that's my egg timer.
And the worst part of a microwave, I have a frequency meter, and so I thought, I'm gonna try it. So I turned on the microwave, and of course it just jumped off the thing. And then I turned it off, and I noticed it was just the same spot. The microwave still puts out waves
without
being on.
Well, it changes the structure of food when you put food in
subatomically.
there.
Oh yeah,
It's
it ruins it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And processed food, and so I just want to tell these people a little bit about when we met. What your advice to me. First of all, you found parasites. Nasty. So we started a cycle of some Paraclear to get that cleaned out.
Right.
You immediately put me on enzymes. Tell me what enzymes do for us.
Well, there's about 300 and so different enzymes. And enzymes, for example, they're generally, not always, but they're generally named after what they process. So, for example, if you eat steak, you should take an enzyme protease. And protease, exactly, and it'll process the protein. But so many of us are so enzyme deficient, and the food is enzyme deficient, that we're not getting it. And people wonder why they're ballooning in weight and that type of thing. And the worst part of that is that they'll drink a diet soda. So, of course, the aspartame, we'll leave that alone for the time being. But carbonation kills enzymes.
Right.
So if you drink a Diet Coke, you're going to kill the very thing you need to lose weight.
Right.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And people keep buying into this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad. I mean, I've had them come in here with a Diet Coke. And I have. And I tell them, might as well, you see that trash can? Put it in there.
Yeah.
Because we're not having it in here.
Yeah. It's a joke at the studio, because when people bring diet soda into my studio, I go, I'm sorry, I don't allow drugs in here. You're going to have to, you can't, harmful drugs like
That's
that
right.
are not in my studio.
That's right.
You got to have a line.
That's right.
You can kill yourself on your own time.
That's
This is
right.
our time.
Well, I mean, my generation, which is 1850, my generation, we were raised on Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And it was a nickel. And we drank that stuff all the time. Well, Dr. Pepper, but I mean, I wouldn't touch a Coke now with a 10-foot pole.
I remember when I was pregnant with Joshua, and this was 26 years ago now, nobody told me not to drink Pepsi. I would go to the Circle K, and I get that 52-ounce thing, cool thing, filled up, and I'd suck on that all day long.
Yep.
My entire pregnancy, I never drank water.
Yeah.
I don't even know what water tasted
That's
like
right.
until I met you. Water.
It's so funny because, again, Imani, her big thing is aloe. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've got like 2 gallons of aloe in there. And if she gets down to 1 gallon, it's like panic time. Yeah. And she drinks that stuff all day long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then she mixes it with water and this and that and all that kind of stuff. And she's really a very clean eater.
Yeah.
And like you now,
Yeah.
know. And it's almost, you can't take her out. So, I mean, I remember we were at the Chart House not too long ago, and it's a mess trying to get her to pick something off the menu. You know?
Because when you go to a restaurant, you would be surprised. I've been eating a 100% raw diet for 2 years now. You would be amazed. You can't even get a raw salad.
Mm-mm.
Something's candied, or something's cooked or grilled, or and forget about any kind of dressing because it's all processed.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of the joke. I usually eat before we go out, and then I just get a bowl of salad and put some lemon juice on top of it, or a bowl of lettuce with lemon juice, and so I can, because it bothers Merrick more than it bothers me.
Yeah.
To me, going out is to have fun, and
Sure. For me, it's being around people.
Yeah, being around the people.
Right.
But he's like, well, I want you to eat, and I was like, did you see how much I ate before we came? Like, I'm good. Yeah.
And Imani does the same thing. And in fact, first time I was going with her, I did her blood, and I found 1 parasite. That's how clean she eats. Okay, she freaked out. There's a parasite. I said, it's an egg, huh? And she said, an egg? That means it's hatching inside me. I'm going, oh my God.
Right, because we're thinking like those alien movies.
That's right. Oh, you know. And boy, I'll tell you what, you talk about, and people have to know that the basis of their health is based on their diet.
Yeah.
And they've got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
They've got to stop eating Milky Ways and
all this processed chemicals. It's chemicals.
Exactly.
You know, it cracks me up when people say, well, what do you eat? And I say, I eat food. What do you eat? And my favorite is when somebody's like eating chicken nuggets or a Big Mac going, well, where do you get your protein? And I'm like, where do you get your protein?
That's right.
I get mine from nuts, from seeds, from kale. Like, where do you get yours? Do you know where you get yours?
Yeah, I tell people, where do they get those little chickens?
Yeah.
You know, and where do they get those square fish?
So, yeah, that's literally my favorite is when somebody's, you know, just eating something that's 90% chemicals and man-made gunk.
I haven't had a Coke or fast food years. I mean, I wouldn't even, I don't think I could even handle a McDonald's burger.
No, and that's, you know, it used to be, oh, that looks good, or, oh, you know, when I first went to you, you talked to me about a high alkaline diet because the pH levels of your body is important because disease and stuff can't survive in a high alkaline environment. And pretty much all the processed stuff that we eat is acidic, so it brings our levels down. So I started eating a high alkaline diet. Now you were like, Peggy, you're a little too strict, and I'm like, no, I'm going to get better. You watch. Didn't you? You fed me pasta one day, and I was like, I'm not eating this. And you said, today's your cheat day, and you're going to eat this.
Well, you know, people don't realize. I mean, 7.2 is normal, and every move of a tenth of a point is double. Well, a Coke is 2.5. I can't even figure that out.
That's like,
that's like battery acid.
It is.
Yeah,
and they've actually shown that. You can watch a YouTube video where they stick a nail in Coke and it just eats it up.
Oh, yeah.
Metal. It
absolutely.
Metal. But yet...
you know, and people drink those. I can't have Coke anymore.
Well, that's how I was.
Yeah.
That was exactly... I was like, you want me to drink what? Water?
Once in a great while, if you're in Europe, the big thing there is carbonated water. And which is better. And every time I'll drink one, and it tastes great, but I go, I can't believe I'm doing this. You know, it's not good for you.
No.
The best thing for you is just flat, plain water.
Yeah.
You know,
put some lemon in it. If you want flavor, put some lemon in it.
Exactly.
I sometimes put a cucumber. I'll let a cucumber and some lemon in there, and you know, I mean, it doesn't. I like water now. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
And in fact, I will, you know, I want it. You know, I get up in the morning as taught. Before my feet hit the ground, I've drank 20 ounces of water.
Yeah. Well, you look around here in the loft, and we've got, I mean, water is everywhere.
Yeah.
And Imani is just on water, you know.
Yeah.
And she's right. And I mean, first time she came over, I'm sitting here drinking a cup of coffee. And I didn't say that. And she puts a bottle of water in front of me. I said, okay. And she does that to me all the time. She'll stick a bottle of water. And how much water did you have today? And I first tried lying. Yeah. And that doesn't work.
It doesn't.
No. She'll go check the trash. She said, why do you lie to me? I said, I didn't lie to you. You said you drank 4 bottles of water. Okay, I might have exaggerated by 3. But she's absolutely dead right.
Yeah.
You know? And here's a gal with no degree in medicine, but she was raised until she was about 16 as a vegan, and because she was Seventh-day Adventist. And so she learned all the things she should have learned to eat.
Right.
And so, in fact, this is way off the subject, but I'll do it anyway. We were up on Palomar Mountain a couple of weeks ago, and we stopped off. Have you been up there?
Once, and it's been a while.
There's a little restaurant there called Mother's Kitchen. And we ordered their chili, and it's all vegetarian. I did not know that. And she said, you won't miss the meat. I said, okay. And it was the best chili I've had in a long time. And so we found a new place to hang, you know. and there are more and more of those restaurants coming along. And so for your viewers who get up on Palomar Mountain, you got to stop at Mother's Kitchen. Trust me. And but you can eat healthy depending on where you go.
Yeah.
You know, we have a very fine little restaurant around the corner. It's a Thai restaurant, but he uses all natural ingredients, no processed foods. You know.
I mean, you just have to look around.
Exactly.
And you have to eat like it matters.
Because it
You
does.
know, when it does. Because when I met you, I would carry a chart in my phone of what foods were, how much alkaline, where they, and, you know, I would make sure that at least 75% of my diet was high, you know, on the high side. And, you know, I would literally, like before I would eat, and if it wasn't, I'm like, I'm not putting it in my body. Like, I'm not going to put anything in my body because I wanted to get better. And you saw me at my worst.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got better.
Well, and in your particular case, I think you've actually gotten younger. I
Thank
do.
you.
No, I'm not saying that because you're my friend, but I'm saying that because it's true.
Well, I lost 84 pounds in our first 3 months together. And I caught so much flack from friends and family because, oh, that's not healthy. And I'm like, really? Again, with the McDonald's in your mouth,
That's right.
telling me.
That I'm not, yeah. It is amazing.
But I mean, I had people tell me, "Oh, you have an eating disorder. You need to go to get therapy." And I was like, "I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life." And oh well, you know, you'll never keep that off. Well, they're right. I didn't. I actually lost another 15 after that. You know, it's like, and you know, I'm healthier. I'm, you know, because I've had.
Yeah, and you didn't have to diet.
No, I never diet. I don't believe in dieting.
I don't either.
And if you spend a day with me, you will be like, oh my God, she eats a lot. I eat chocolate, raw vegan chocolate that I make by myself. Fig Newtons is my new thing. I just learned how to make Fig Newtons.
Wow. I can't eat a fig.
Well, you know, I saw the Carlsbad strawberry thing was open, so I'm going to make some strawberry Newtons. I'm going to try that. I'm sure it's just as good, and with those fresh.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the easy thing about living in Southern California. Not all my viewers live in Southern California, and it is tough because you know they don't have fresh produce. They can't go, oh, the strawberries are out, you know. Yeah. But you know they have to. But you still, if you care about your body, you can still make it work.
That's right. I mean, all you have to do is just put a little effort out.
You put and then it becomes habit.
Yeah.
And then it becomes second nature, and then you just got it made.
That's right.
You know? And you know, if I don't have time to, you know, if I'm running around, because my schedule is insane.
Yeah, I know.
And in fact, it's taken us 2 months to
get
sit down.
together. That's right.
We started talking about this a while back, but you know, I carry some raw, sprouted, dehydrated almonds with me, and then I've got my energy, I've got my protein, and you know, I'm good to go.
Well, you know, I'm amazed. When I was a kid, we didn't know it, but we were eating organic all the time.
Yeah.
Because we'd go down to the farm in Georgia, and of course my uncle never used pesticides. And we had to go out and sucker his tobacco, but nothing like picking bugs off tobacco. But anyway, you know, the chickens were all free range, and the eggs were all cage free. I mean, it was amazing. And then all of a sudden, stuff starts turning.
Well, we had a huge garden. Our garden was about double the size of this, this room.
Yeah.
So, and we canned and we froze and we, you know, I used to hate it as a kid because you'd spend, you know, 3 days snapping beans and cutting corn and, you know, and then my grandma would come back from Missouri with the bushels of apples and, you know.
God,
But, you know, again, not knowing it, that's how I was raised to eat, you know, food.
And that's how, you know, again, down on the farm, we always ate well. And nobody complained about being hungry or fat or whatever. But because the food was all we'd eat a heavy lunch, and then we'd go out and work. Mm-hmm. Well, you worked it off, you know. And I don't want to work that hard anymore, but and I try not to. And in fact, succeed at it pretty well. But, you know, I'm just amazed at how people just don't even pay attention to their diet because you really are what you eat.
You really are. And the whole apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's not just a saying.
No, it's true.
You know, I mean, you have to eat more than an apple, but
Yeah.
that'll help. That's a
And-
good start.
And make sure the apple's non-GMO. You know, I mean, I am just amazed at that one.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter, who is gluten intolerant, but only here. When I took my kids over to Paris with me, she'd eat 2 baguettes.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
People tell me, "Oh, you can eat bread in France."
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend that just was out there for, I think she was you know, on a big tour, but I think she was gone for 14 days.
Yeah.
And she was like, you can just eat and eat
Anything.
and eat and eat, and you don't even have to worry about it.
It's outlawed in Europe. GMO is outlawed, and at least they're smarter than we are. You know,
Right.
and because what happens is the genetically modified organisms attach themselves to the gluten layer, and that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Same thing with most of the food that we're eating now. It's all GMO.
Yeah.
And although I have noticed that they're starting to learn,
Yeah.
because I'll watch a commercial on TV and they'll go non-GMO,
Yeah.
and you're going, cool. You know?
And it's out there a lot now.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to eat my can of SpaghettiOs, but you've gone too far with that. You know, and, you know, or your hot dog, or,
Yeah.
you know, something that's just disgusting.
Oh my God! Have you ever seen them make a hot dog?
No, you know, my brother-in-law used to work at a meat packing
No.
plant back in Kansas, so my sister has always banned the eating of hot dogs.
Yep.
Since I was little,
I
she
mean,
was
this-
like, never eat
Oh
a
yeah,
hot dog.
it's disgusting. And I mean, it's just. I mean, every time, and I'll be honest with you. I like to go to Del Mar you know, during track season, and you can't go
Without a brat.
with yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think about when I bite into it, I go, why am I even doing this? You know, but it's just part of being there, and you pay $14 for a brat,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, so eating. One of the things I like about France, by the way, from the age of 5, they teach their children in school how to eat.
Wow.
What is cooler
Right.
than that? You know.
Right.
I mean, and here, of course, first grade, we teach them math and we teach them English, but in France,
And
they
we give
teach-
them nasty school lunches
Oh
that are
God!
processed gunk.
Oh. And when I was a kid in high school, we had good food for lunch,
Yeah.
you know. But that was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
they don't do that anymore.
was about
I
1860.
have a kid in public school. They don't do that anymore.
No, no. Oh my Lord! I mean, if you're going to get healthy, do your best to change your diet.
Yeah.
And it's getting easier all the time because there are more and more grocery stores that are very.
Even Ralph's out here, which is just a chain.
Oh,
They have
absolutely.
a ton. I hadn't been into one for years, and I went in the other day, and I was like, "Why don't I shop here again?"
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Stater Brothers does the same
Yeah.
thing, and
Shocked.
you can find when I was in where was it, Pennsylvania, last year, and there's a store chain out there. They sell nothing but organic,
Yeah.
and it's a huge store,
Yeah.
you know, and it makes Stater Brothers look like a drugstore, you know.
Well, I was, you know, in LA.
Yeah.
Because we're way cooler than you San Diegans.
Yeah.
You can get high alkaline water at 7-Eleven. You know, I walked in and I go, wow, what? I had to buy one just because.
Yeah. I mean, people don't realize how important water, good food, fruits and vegetables, and I tell everybody, you got to do at least 5 servings a day of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. Definitely.
And they look at you.
Like you're crazy.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and probiotics. Everybody needs probiotics.
Absolutely.
Especially the lifestyle that we
Yep.
live. I had C. diff, so I really need probiotics.
Yep.
But everybody would do better to keep their digestive system working
Absolutely.
properly.
Because everything that we're eating today, in today's world, kills the probiotics in your body.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep putting them back.
Right.
And when I write out a recommendation for someone, and I'll put probiotics, and it says how long, and I put forever.
Forever.
You know.
Forever.
And they look at me, and they, forever. It's $8 a bottle, people.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you know, I think I've tried different things, but I usually go back to, I think it's like a Probiate or something.
Yeah,
It's
PB8, yeah.
PB8,
Yeah.
and you know, it's not going to break your bank.
No.
Keep them in the refrigerator, and
Yeah, and if you go to a good health food store, probably going to run you about $7 a bottle.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
No.
That's a month's supply.
Yeah.
And if you can't spend that for a month, then you got a problem.
The problem that a lot of my viewers have if they have lymphedema is, first of all, doctors don't know anything about lymphedema
No.
because after all, your lymphatic system is the largest part of your immune system.
Absolutely.
Why in the world would doctors learn about that?
That's right.
It's ridiculous,
You
right?
know, yeah.
I mean, studies show that a medical doctor spends about 1 hour in their entire medical school
That's right.
learning about your lymphatic
Not
system.
1 credit hour.
No,
1 hour.
literally 1 hour.
1 hour, that's
like
it.
maybe less than one
Right.
class. So
I've had some of my clients come back. I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, that's fine.
But I had a gal come back to me, and she said, my doctor laughed at me. I said, about what? He said there was nothing wrong with my lymphatic system, and I didn't have parasites. Oh, really? And the reason for that is because around 1910, they labeled parasites as a tropical disease. Therefore, we don't have them here. And I said to a doctor one time, I said, do you think they need green cards to get in here?
Yeah, they're sneaking in somewhere.
That's right. But we have as much of
should
a...
build a wall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good idea, you know? And no, we're not going to go there.
No, let's not go down that road.
So, but I mean, if you just do a little bit of study or go see somebody, a nutritionist or somebody who can help you out with and put you on the right path,
Right.
it's a very simple thing. I mean,
Yeah.
look what you've done.
And I had, I had a flare up about 2.5 years ago. I started having a bad flare up, had a real dramatic thing go on in my life, and I went into this deep depression. I didn't take care of myself,
Yeah.
and my leg swelled up again, and I just no energy, achy all the time, blah blah blah. And finally one morning I said, I know what to do. I know how to feel better.
Yeah.
And so I went on. I committed to a 21-day detox. That was it. And then I was like, wow, I'm feeling pretty good. I might as well do 2 more months raw.
Sure.
Let's do 2 more months. 3 months is a good.
Yeah.
I had 2 more months, and then another 2 more months, and it's been over 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's like, but I feel good. I still wear compression garment, and I know you don't really like the whole compression garment
That's all right.
thing.
It's okay.
But and I don't either, and because it's one of those things that once you start wearing it, you can't stop wearing it.
Right.
When I started treatment with you, it took me a good 1.5 years to wean off of the compression garment because
Right.
your muscles and ligaments depend on that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's a tough situation between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
But right now I wear compression garment, and I eat healthy, and I do what I'm supposed to do, and I
Right.
feel good.
You-
But the problem that a lot of my viewers have is the insurance won't pay
Oh, they
for
won't
any
pay for it.
treatment.
No.
And then the treatment you get is a pat on the head. It could be worse.
Yeah.
We're going to teach you how to maintain this so you don't get worse too soon.
Now I feel so much better, because basically what your doctor is telling you is you don't have to change your lifestyle.
Right. I mean, we wouldn't want you to change your lifestyle and
no.
to get better.
No.
I mean, we're just going to teach you how to gradually get worse.
Right.
We're going to try to slow this down and make you as comfortable as possible.
Right.
And if you need, we can give you some medication that's going to cause all sorts of other stuff.
Well, the shame of it is that's what's happened to the medical industry. Doctors no longer cure.
They just want to put a Band-Aid on
Exactly.
it.
And that's
Come back. And again, I am the biggest critic of Western medicine. However, us as a society has allowed that.
oh yeah,
What do you mean, drink water? No, give me a pill.
that's right.
I'm not going to come back to you unless you give me a pill. I'll find somebody that will just give me a pill.
Yeah.
So, the blame is on us as a society. I'm not, I am not a lover of Western medicine, but I still think that a lot of that falls on people being too lazy. So, but this is something, you don't have insurance to cover you. You don't have the money to go out and buy, a $900 custom compression garment. You don't have, well, you know what? You have enough money to eat because you've been doing that already.
That's right.
Is
Hello?
my food a little bit more expensive? Yeah.
Yeah.
I spend a little bit more because I buy actual food and
Right.
not a 99-cent can of mush. But still, that's not a lot more. And once you get used to that, that just goes right into your budget.
Sure.
That's just food budget.
Yeah.
And that you just make it work.
Well, the problem in this country, we've gotten to a point where we live to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We don't eat to live.
No, and
And
that's exactly right. Everything's about how good is it, how
Right.
entertaining is it, instead
right.
of what is this going to do for my body.
Exactly. And that, gosh, I have people come in all the time and ask me some of the stupidest questions. They don't think they're stupid, and I never tell them they're stupid questions, but I laugh inside.
I'm sure you got a big kick out of me when you met me.
No, actually, I didn't. You know, one of the things that I've always, and I shouldn't say this on camera, but one of the things I always liked about you is that beautiful smile that you have.
Aw.
You just light up a room, you know, and every time I see a picture of you and Merrick, I just die because both of you look like you came out of the same robot mold, you know, and but that's you couldn't you. There was a time when you couldn't really do that.
No,
you know?
I was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I was pretty sick.
So, you know, I just encourage people, if you can't, if your doctor won't help you, which he probably won't, then go find a nutritionist, go find a holistic doctor. Unfortunately today, when I was a kid, we had a DO, and they were awesome. But DOs have gone mainstream now, and they're in the drugs again, you know, and it's like, you know. So the best person you can find is a good nutritionist, and they're all over the place. So, and find a place to shop. The most difficult thing is you go into a store, you don't know what you're buying,
Right.
you know. But if you go to, and I always found it interesting that a farmer can spray stuff all over his stuff and all that stuff, but if you want to grow organic, it costs you a fortune to get a license or a permit
Right.
or whatever
Right.
it is, you know. And I go, what's wrong with this? So, but you can find them.
Yeah, and a lot of times going to like an ethnic grocery store,
Yep.
they have a lot more fresh foods that aren't, you know, whole food prices
Yeah.
or, you know, the big line, you
Yeah,
know, where
and-
you can get organic foods.
Sure.
And you don't have to spend, you know, $5 for an apple.
And Thursdays, I think most towns now are getting these, but on Thursday we have a street market.
Uh-huh.
And
The farmer's market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're perfect,
Yeah.
you know. And some of those people are really wacky, and I mean that in a nice way.
Right.
Because I mean, you go in and say, "Is this organic?" and they look at you like, "What else would it be?"
And another thing, if you go to farmers markets, here's Peggy's tip of the day: how to shop on a budget. Go to farmers market at the end of the day and say, "Hey, do you have anything that's a little overripe? Do you have anything that you know
Exactly.
that you are gonna
Toss.
or you know whatever?" And you know sometimes they'll bag up a whole bunch of stuff for $10, you
Yeah.
know, and you just walk out of there.
Sure.
So you know there are ways to eat healthy
Absolutely.
if you want to, and especially if you go there and you get to know them and they realize that you're working on a health issue and you're working on getting healthy. People will help you.
Absolutely.
If you start asking questions and talking to people, people want to see you succeed.
Exactly.
They want to see you get healthy.
That's one of the things I like about France, for example. They passed a law in France that restaurants and grocery stores cannot throw out food. They have to give it to the homeless.
Yeah.
And you don't see many homeless in Paris, you know. There's a few, but if we would pass laws like that and then enforce them, instead of, I mean, you can go, again, we've got several good restaurants around here, but you can see them every day bringing this stuff out and dumping it, you know, and
Yeah.
you're going, come on, man.
Yeah.
And so even the organic restaurants do the same thing because we take food for...
Well, because the laws here are you can't resell it, you can't give away. They're afraid that if they give a homeless that, then the homeless can say, "Well, I got blah blah blah,"
Right.
you know. So they're afraid of logistic actions being taken
Exactly.
against them. So the best thing they can do is, "Hey, Fred,"
Yeah.
you know.
And the best thing that we can do in this country is stop re-electing these idiots, you know? I mean, all of them. I mean, every single one of them. God, we got to do something because all of our freedoms are being taken away from us, you know? And under the guise of safety.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that safe, you know?
Yeah.
So we won't even get into the Second Amendment, but because I'm really death on that one, modern anyway. So, but this is your health. I hate to sound Jewish here, but your health that's the best thing you got, and you got your health, you got it all, you know, Kinahara. And I did go Jewish there for a minute anyway, but you've got to guard your health and your children are going to learn by your example, and you can't feed them SpaghettiOs and oh God, the stuff is awful. I go in a supermarket and I look down the aisles and I'm going, look at this. The cereal aisle is the longest aisle in the damn place, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of the worst things.
Absolutely. The box has more nutrition.
Yeah. Probably if you'd pour a little
That's right.
almond milk. I don't even want to talk about cow's milk. Let's not go there.
Yeah. Milk?
Ugh.
Ugh.
Just stop drinking milk.
Yeah. My daughter.
Look it up.
Every time I say milk, she goes.
Yeah, when I changed my eating, I did not change my family's eating, because when you force yourself on somebody and it's not their decision, it's just going to be a fight. The only one thing that I said, I drew the line was, and that's cow's milk. Cow's milk is not allowed in my house.
No.
I mean, they may eat meat, everything else, but cow's milk is, that's where I draw the line. And sodas. And it was funny. I have, she's 13 now. Can you believe she's
Sammy?
13?
Oh my God.
But when I stopped drinking soda, I said, okay, you can have one soda a week. Now, this was a sneaky plan, because you know what? You lose your taste for that. So now, every Saturday, she's like, oh, it's my soda week. Can I have a lemonade? And I'm like, yeah, she thinks lemonade's a soda.
Perfect.
Because she can't stand any of the other, because it tastes like chemicals.
Right.
And as soon as
And
you
it
get
is.
that taste out of you'll never go back to drinking soda.
No, and
that's her,
yeah.
So I never told her she couldn't have soda. I just limited it. And
Right.
then she naturally
Got off it.
And now she thinks because you can get lemonade in the machine that's
a soda. Perfect. I love to watch TV for the commercials, and I love the Diet Coke commercial because it tastes so good, and I'm going, oh my God, compared to what,
Yeah, compared to battery acid.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just amazing to me. I mean, we got on the subject of diet, and we didn't plan this, but it's so important. I mean, look at Peggy. The girl, I mean, to me, she looks younger than the first day I met her, which was probably 10 years ago.
I'm trying to figure out. I think it was about 8 years ago.
Yeah. And, I mean, you actually look better than you did then. I mean, I know you were sick.
Yeah.
But even so,
Yeah.
And I mean, look at her skin, for crying out loud. And my girlfriend, for example, everybody always admires her skin because she just takes care of herself.
Drink water.
Hello.
My grandmother, she passed away at 94, but when she was in her early 90s and late 80s, people always thought she was in her 70s.
Yeah.
Always. And she always had beautiful skin. And, I remember asking her once, how do you,
Yeah.
and she'd say, drink water, don't lie, and don't use anything but a bar of soap on your face.
There you go. Yeah.
And so I drink water, I don't lie, and I use a bar of soap on
There
my
you go.
face.
Yeah, that wouldn't work with my girlfriend. She does all the masks.
All the,
and,
the fun stuff.
And
yeah.
she comes out, and it's funny because she comes out with these weird colored masks on. I'm going, never mind. I mean,
we regress.
Yeah, she is really almost obsessive. She's obsessive about taking care of herself.
Yeah.
And
you only have one yourself. So if
That's
you're going
right.
to be obsessive about something, shouldn't that be what you're obsessive about?
hello.
I have a very strict ritual how I take care of my leg every day. I get up, before I sit up, I drink my water.
Yeah.
I go shower, I do my thing, I lay down on my chi machine,
Yeah.
for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I do a massage, and then I put my garment on, and then I'm ready for my day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's, does that sound like a pain in the butt? Yeah, but this is me.
Yeah.
That's the only me I got.
And it's the only
And
one you're ever
nobody
gonna
else
get.
is going to help me.
That's right.
So,
You're the most important part of your healing
Yeah.
process. So I know we got a little carried away with
I don't
diet.
think we talked about anything we talked about that we were going to talk about.
No.
That's okay.
That's fine.
But, don't think that there's no hope just because your doctor said it's incurable.
Exactly. There's no such thing as incurable.
When I met you, I had stage 2 lymphedema in my left leg. Now, stage 2 means it'll never get better. Once you hit stage 2, because all elevating your leg doesn't help anymore. Your tissue is so fibrotic that's it. It's not going to get better. Once you hit stage 2, it's going to just continue to get worse.
Right.
Well, you saw the pictures. You saw the pictures.
Absolutely.
So technically on my medical records, it says I have stage 2 lymphedema.
Right.
But if you looked at my leg, you wouldn't think I had stage 2 lymphedema. But because once a diagnosis is given, you know,
Well,
it's
yeah, and I hate that
Yeah.
because I'll have people come in here with stage 4 cancer,
yeah,
and they're all set to die.
yeah,
And I always tell them, a doctor can't cure you of anything, but he can tell you when you're going to die. He'll tell you to the day, you know. and you people listen to him.
yeah.
Stop it.
Exactly. You know, you
Stop
have
it.
to decide if lymphedema is going to control your life,
Right.
if this is the path you want. It's your life. You
That's
get to
right.
decide. And this was a huge revelation for me because I always thought if a doctor told me to take a pill, I took it and I never questioned it.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could say, whoa, wait a minute, why are we taking that?
Yeah.
What other alternatives do I have? You know what, I'm going to go consult my nutritionist. Just put a pin in that. We'll come back and talk about
That's
that in
right.
a couple of weeks.
Yep.
You know,
And-
and this is your body. You don't have to do something because somebody tells you to do it.
I've got, fortunately, a network of nutritionists all over the state of California, and some of them in Europe, and we all just sit there and shake our heads about what doctors are doing.
Oh, it's scary.
It's scary, and it's so sad.
I always say that the doctors tried their best to kill me, but then I met Hugh. I mean, I really, you know, I got to the point where I was like, is it better for them to kill me than for the insurance to keep paying for my
Right.
treatment? Like, I really thought I was just a financial, okay, we're done with her.
Yeah, that's what kills me. By the way, I don't want to. I probably shouldn't.
I know.
Say it. Yeah.
We're probably going down a
Yeah,
rabbit
we're probably.
hole
Yeah,
that we
we're
probably
going. Yeah,
shouldn't.
let's not do that.
So anyway, I hope this was encouraging to you, and I really appreciate you getting in front of the camera with me.
You know,
and,
I don't do that well.
you,
You know, anyway. But I appreciate you for all that you've done and for all the people that you've helped. And I'm sad that you moved to LA, but I guess I can live with that.
you could come visit, you know.
I know. And it's,
So it's a guy that lived abroad for a year. Yeah, I just am in LA.
I'm,
An
That's
hour
horrible,
and a
isn't
half
it?
From here.
but I really have been fortunate to be loaded up with clients, and you know, I've missed yesterday. I was supposed to go to my chiropractor because of my fall, and I missed that because I had so many clients, and I'll hear it from him tomorrow when I go in. But you know, and that's another thing I always suggest to people: you need a chiropractor. You don't know it, but you need them. And so, I mean, it was just so much fun to be here with you. And to talk about the things that are precious to us,
Right.
you know, and it should be to everybody else.
It should be because it's your life.
That's right.
And you and I are the same. We want to help people.
Yeah,
But you can't help people that don't want help.
I am.
We can stand up and yell from the top of our lungs until we're blue in the face. And if people want to set, and you know, there are people out there that don't want to get better because
right.
then they would have to work and they couldn't
That's right.
collect disability,
That's
or
right.
then so and so wouldn't feel sorry for them. Like
Exactly.
it's, you know. So and that's fine. That's their path they've
Right.
chosen. That's just not the path I want.
Me either.
And so if you don't want that path, know that you've got options.
You can change
get
it,
better.
yeah.
You can change it. It's your life.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing. Every morning when you wake up, as long as you wake up, you can change it.
That's right.
That's the only rule is you have to wake up.
Yeah.
If you wake up, then you can do anything.
That was great, Peggy. Thank you so much. You're such a
Thank
sweetheart.
you. We
Oh
don't
yeah, we
shake
don't
hands.
shake hands. But so keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, well, you
It's-
too.
Oh yeah.
You too.
I thought I was going to retire. Didn't
I know
work.
you tried, but you had a lot of fun.
I
You had
do.
a lot of fun trying.
I do, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you watching. Again, if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my other videos, make sure that you go and follow this playlist. Most of my videos that I upload are photography related, but I do have a video or a playlist called My Lymphedema Journey. Follow that and you'll get notifications every time I upload. And I am here a lot this month because it's lymphedema awareness.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Oh, that was fun.